In the heart of the expansive African savanna, nestled between rolling hills and lush grasslands, lay the village of Uwani. The village, with its tightly knit community and vibrant cultural traditions, was a place where the past intertwined seamlessly with the present. Here, every hut, every pathway, and every tree whispered stories of generations gone by. The thatched roof homes, crafted from mud and straw, formed a circle around a large clearing where the villagers gathered for celebrations and important meetings. In the center of this clearing stood a grand baobab tree, its thick trunk and sprawling branches a testament to the village's enduring strength and unity. The people of Uwani lived in harmony with nature, their lives guided by the wisdom of their ancestors and the rhythms of the land. The village was a tapestry of colors and sounds, from the vibrant kente cloths worn by the villagers to the rhythmic drumming and singing that echoed through the air. At the heart of this village was Chief Ajani, a leader known for his unwavering adherence to tradition and his deep love for his people. Chief Ajani was a tall, imposing figure with a regal presence, often seen wearing elaborate traditional attire adorned with intricate beadwork and feathers. Chief Ajani had a daughter, Nia, who was the pride and joy of Uwani. Nia was a young woman of striking beauty and intelligence. Her long braided hair was adorned with beads that clicked softly as she moved, and her dark eyes sparkled with curiosity and warmth. She often wore brightly colored dresses that swayed with her graceful movements, reflecting the rich cultural heritage of her people. Despite her privileged position as the chief's daughter, Nia was humble and kind, always eager to learn and help others in the village. One day, as Nia walked through the village, she noticed a commotion near the edge of the clearing. Curious, she made her way towards the gathering crowd and saw a young warrior demonstrating his skills with a spear. The warrior was Kofi, a humble but courageous man who had recently proven himself in battle against a rival tribe. Kofi was tall and muscular, with a calm and confident demeanor. His skin glistened with sweat as he skillfully twirled the spear, impressing the onlookers with his strength and agility. As Nia watched Kofi, she felt a strange yet compelling connection to him. His bravery and skill captivated her, and she found herself drawn to his gentle smile and the kindness in his eyes. After his demonstration, Kofi noticed Nia standing at the edge of the crowd, and their eyes met. For a moment, the world around them seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them in a silent exchange that spoke volumes. Nia's heart raced, and she quickly looked away, feeling a warmth spread through her cheeks. Later that evening, as the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the savanna, Nia found herself wandering towards the baobab tree. The tree, with its ancient wisdom and sprawling branches, was her favorite place to think and reflect. To her surprise, she found Kofi there, sitting quietly and gazing at the horizon. He looked up as she approached, and a warm smile spread across his face. They sat together under the baobab tree, talking late into the night about their dreams, fears, and the world beyond the village. In that moment, a deep bond formed between them, one that neither of them could ignore. However, their budding romance was not to be an easy one. Chief Ajani had long been planning Nia's future, and his plans did not include a humble warrior like Kofi. He had promised Nia's hand to Tunde, a wealthy suitor from a neighboring village, in hopes of strengthening alliances and ensuring the prosperity of Uwani. Tunde was everything Kofi was not: wealthy, influential, and favored by the chief. When Ajani discovered Nia's growing affection for Kofi, his reaction was one of anger and disappointment. "Nia, you know our customs," Ajani said sternly. "Our people depend on the alliances we build through marriage. Your feelings for Kofi are a threat to the future of our village." Nia stood her ground, her eyes filled with determination. "Father, I understand our traditions, but my heart belongs to Kofi. He is brave, kind, and true. Our love is real, and it should not be cast aside for the sake of politics." Ajani's face softened for a moment, but his resolve remained firm. "You are my daughter and I love you dearly, but I must think of the village and our people. You will marry Tunde as agreed. This discussion is over." With those words, Ajani dismissed Nia and Kofi, leaving them both heartbroken and unsure of their future. As they walked away from the chief's hut, Nia and Kofi knew that their love would face many challenges. but they also knew that their bond was strong, and they were determined to find a way to be together, no matter the cost. Despite the disapproval of Chief Ajani and the looming shadow of tradition, Nia and Kofi's love for each other only grew stronger. They found solace in the few moments they could steal away together, hidden from the prying eyes of the village. Their secret meetings were filled with whispered promises and tender touches, each encounter deepening their bond. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow over the savannah, Nia and Kofi met under their favorite baobab tree. The ancient tree stood as a silent witness to their love, its broad branches sheltering them from the world. Kofi held Nia close, his arms wrapped protectively around her. "Nia," Kofi whispered, "no matter what happens, I want you to know that my heart will always belong to you. Our love is stronger than any tradition or promise." Nia looked up at him, her eyes shining with determination. "I believe in us, Kofi. We will find a way to be together. I won't let my father or anyone else dictate our future." Their resolve was tested when Chief Ajani announced that Tunde would be visiting the village to finalize the marriage arrangements. The news spread quickly, and the village buzzed with excitement and anticipation. Tunde was known for his wealth and influence, and many believed that his union with Nia would bring prosperity to Uwani. Nia felt a heavy weight on her heart as the day of Tunde's arrival approached. She confided in her mother, Malaika, who was torn between her love for her daughter and her duty to support her husband's decisions. Malaika was a wise and compassionate woman, known for her calming presence and gentle guidance. She listened to Nia's fears and offered her comfort. "My dear Nia," Malaika said softly, "I know your heart is conflicted. Love is a powerful force, and it cannot be easily ignored. But we must also consider the well-being of our people. Your father believes that this marriage will ensure the future of our village." Nia took her mother's hands in hers, her voice filled with desperation. "Mother, please, I beg you to help me. I cannot marry Tunde. My heart belongs to Kofi. There must be another way." Malaika's eyes filled with sorrow, but she nodded. "I will speak to your father, my child. I cannot promise anything, but I will try to make him understand." True to her word, Malaika approached Chief Ajani later that evening. She spoke to him with gentle yet firm resolve, trying to make him see the depth of Nia's feelings for Kofi. Ajani listened, but his expression remained stern. "Malaika, I understand your concerns," Ajani said. "But as the chief, I must prioritize the needs of our village. Tunde's alliance will bring us security and prosperity. Nia must understand her duty." Malaika sighed, realizing that Ajani's mind was set. "Very well, Ajani, but please consider our daughter's happiness. Love is a powerful bond, and it cannot be easily broken." As preparations for Tunde's arrival continued, Nia and Kofi grew increasingly anxious. They met in secret whenever they could, finding comfort in each other's presence. They knew that their time together was limited, and each moment was precious. One night, under the cover of darkness, Kofi took Nia to a hidden spot near a small serene river that flowed just beyond the village. The moonlight danced on the water's surface, creating a magical atmosphere. Kofi had prepared a small fire and they sat together, sharing stories and dreams. "Nia," Kofi said, taking her hand, "if we cannot be together here, then we will find another way. We could leave Uwani and start a new life elsewhere." Nia's heart ached at the thought of leaving her family and village, but she knew that her love for Kofi was worth any sacrifice. "I would go anywhere with you, Kofi, but we must be careful. My father will not let us go easily." Secret meetings continued, and with each one their love grew stronger. However, they knew that their time was running out. Tunde's arrival was imminent, and with it, the formalization of Nia's betrothal. They needed a plan, and they needed it soon. Kofi sought the counsel of his closest friend, Kwame, a fellow warrior known for his wisdom and resourcefulness. Kwame had always supported Kofi and Nia's love and was willing to help them find a way to be together. "Kofi," Kwame said, "if you truly wish to be with Nia, we must find a way to prove to the chief that your love is blessed by the ancestors. It is the only way he might consider breaking the betrothal." Kofi nodded, understanding the gravity of the task. "What do you suggest, Kwame?" Kwame thought for a moment before replying. There is a legend of a rare flower that blooms on the sacred mountain far to the north. It is said that this flower is a symbol of eternal love, blessed by the spirits of our ancestors. If you can bring this flower to the chief, it may change his mind. Kofi's eyes lit up with hope. I will do it. I will find this flower and bring it to Chief Ajani. For Nia, I will face any challenge. With a plan in place, Kofi and Nia prepared for the journey ahead. They knew it would be dangerous, and that they would face many obstacles, but their love gave them the strength and courage they needed. As the day of Tunde's arrival dawned, Kofi and Nia shared one last tender embrace under the baobab tree. They promised to stay strong and to fight for their love, no matter the cost. Nia, Kofi whispered, wait for me. I will return with the flower and prove to your father that our love is true. I will wait for you, Kofi, Nia replied, her voice filled with unwavering faith. Together, we will overcome any obstacle. With a final lingering kiss, they parted ways. Kofi set off on his journey to the sacred mountain, while Nia remained in the village, her heart filled with hope and determination. As Kofi journeyed towards the sacred mountain, he carried with him the hopes and dreams of a love that defied tradition. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but his heart was steadfast. For Nia, for their love, he would overcome any challenge and prove that their bond was stronger than any tradition. Kofi's journey to the sacred mountain was arduous and fraught with dangers. The sacred mountain, known as Mount Kujenga, was a place of reverence and mystery, shrouded in legends of the ancestors' spirits who guarded its secrets. Kofi knew that reaching the summit and finding the rare flower would not only require physical strength, but also spiritual resilience. As Kofi made his way through the dense foliage, he encountered many obstacles. The first challenge came in the form of a wild river that roared with ferocious rapids. The water surged and crashed against the rocks, creating a formidable barrier. Kofi took a deep breath, his muscles tensed with determination. With careful steps, he began to navigate the treacherous waters, using his spear for balance. After hours of struggle, Kofi finally crossed the river, his body exhausted, but his spirit undeterred. As he continued his journey, he encountered various wild animals, from prowling leopards to massive elephants. Each encounter tested his courage and his respect for nature. Kofi used his knowledge of the land and his warrior skills to avoid conflicts, moving silently and swiftly through the wilderness. Meanwhile, back in Uwani, preparations for Tunde's arrival were in full swing. The village buzzed with activity as the villagers decorated the central clearing with vibrant fabrics and traditional ornaments. Drums echoed through the air, and the scent of delicious food wafted from cooking fires. Nia, despite her heavy heart, helped with the preparations, her mind constantly drifting to thoughts of Kofi and his perilous journey. Nia's mother, Maleka, noticed her daughter's distant expression and approached her. Nia, my child, your heart is heavy. Remember that love is a powerful force, and Kofi's determination will see him through. Trust in his strength and the bond you share. Nia nodded, grateful for her mother's words. Thank you, Mother. I believe in Kofi and our love. I just hope he returns before it is too late. As the day of Tunde's arrival drew near, Nia felt the weight of her father's expectations pressing down on her. Chief Ajani, proud and determined, was eager to solidify the alliance with Tunde. He believed that the marriage would ensure the prosperity and security of Uwani, a responsibility he took very seriously. When Tunde finally arrived, he was accompanied by a grand entourage, showcasing his wealth and influence. He was a tall man, with an air of arrogance and self-assuredness. He wore elaborate attire adorned with gold and precious stones, and his presence commanded attention. Nia greeted Tunde with the grace expected of her, but her heart remained steadfast in her love for Kofi. As the village celebrated Tunde's arrival, Nia felt like a prisoner, trapped by tradition and duty. She longed for Kofi's return, hoping that he would succeed in his quest and free her from this unwanted fate. Back on Mount Kujenga, Kofi's journey grew more treacherous as he ascended the steep slopes. The air became thin, and the temperature dropped, but Kofi pressed on, driven by his love for Nia. As he neared the summit, he encountered the final guardian of the sacred flower, an old wise shaman known as the Keeper of the Mountain. The shaman was a mysterious figure, with eyes that seemed to see into Kofi's very soul. He wore robes made of animal hides and feathers, and his long white hair flowed like a river. The shaman spoke in a voice that resonated with the power of the ancestors. "Young warrior," the shaman said, "you have shown great courage and determination to reach this place. But before you can take the sacred flower, you must prove that your love is true and worthy." Kofi bowed respectfully. "Great shaman, my love for Nia is pure and unwavering. I will face any trial to prove its worth." The shaman nodded, raising his hands to the sky. "Then you shall undergo the trial of the heart. If your love is true, the ancestors will grant you their blessing. If not, you shall be turned away." With that, the shaman led Kofi to a secluded cave near the summit. Inside, the walls were adorned with ancient symbols and paintings that depicted the village's history and the ancestors' deeds. In the center of the cave stood a small altar, upon which lay the sacred flower, glowing with an ethereal light. The shaman began to chant, and the cave filled with a powerful, otherworldly energy. Kofi closed his eyes, focusing on his love for Nia and the life they hoped to build together. As he stood before the altar, he felt a warmth spread through his chest, and a vision appeared before him. In the vision, Kofi saw himself and Nia standing together, hand in hand, surrounded by their children and the villagers of Uwani. They were happy and at peace, their love having united not only them, but also their community. The vision filled Kofi with a profound sense of purpose and determination. When the vision faded, the shaman's voice echoed in the cave. "Your love is true, young warrior. The ancestors have blessed you. Take the sacred flower and return to your village. May your love bring harmony and prosperity to Uwani." Kofi opened his eyes, filled with gratitude and resolve. He carefully took the sacred flower from the altar, its glow lighting his path. With the flower in hand, he began his descent from Mount Kujenga, eager to reunite with Nia and prove their love to Chief Ajani. Back in Uwani, the tension was palpable as the day of the marriage ceremony approached. Nia, dressed in her finest attire, felt a deep sense of dread. She knew that her future depended on Kofi's return and the success of his quest. On the morning of the ceremony, as the villagers gathered in the central clearing, a distant figure appeared on the horizon. It was Kofi, his figure framed by the rising sun. He walked with purpose, the sacred flower held high as a symbol of his triumph. As Kofi entered the village, the crowd parted, allowing him to approach Chief Ajani and Tunde. Nia's heart soared with hope as she saw Kofi, knowing that their love had endured. "Chief Ajani," Kofi said, his voice strong and unwavering, "I have journeyed to Mount Kujenga and returned with the sacred flower, blessed by the ancestors. This flower is a symbol of true love, a love that cannot be broken by tradition or duty. I ask you to honor our love and allow Nia and me to be together." Chief Ajani, taken aback by Kofi's bravery and the sight of the sacred flower, hesitated. The villagers, moved by Kofi's dedication and the power of the flower, began to murmur in support. Maleka stepped forward, her voice calm and wise. "Ajani, our daughter has found a love that is blessed by the ancestors. Let us honor their bond and find a way to ensure our village's prosperity through their union." Chief Ajani looked at Nia, seeing the hope and love in her eyes. He then turned to Kofi, recognizing the warrior's courage and dedication. Finally, he glanced at Tunde, who stood silently, his arrogance now replaced with uncertainty. With a deep breath, Chief Ajani made his decision. "Kofi, you have proven your love and dedication. The ancestors have blessed your union. I will honor your love and allow you to be together. Nia, you shall marry the man your heart has chosen." The village erupted in cheers and celebration as Nia and Kofi embraced, their love finally recognized and accepted. Tundi, though disappointed, accepted the decision with grace and left the village, his entourage in tow. The days that followed were filled with preparations for a new celebration, the union of Nia and Kofi. The village came together, united by the power of love and the blessings of the ancestors. As Nia and Kofi stood before their community, ready to pledge their lives to each other, they knew that their love had not only defied tradition, but had also strengthened the bonds within their village. With the sacred flower as a symbol of their eternal love, Nia and Kofi began their journey together, their hearts filled with hope and their spirits blessed by the ancestors. Their story became a legend in Uwani, a testament to the power of true love and the courage to follow one's heart. Nia and Kofi's union was a testament to their enduring love, a love that had overcome the trials set by tradition and destiny. Their marriage ceremony was a grand affair, celebrated with heartfelt joy by the entire village of Uwani. The sacred flower they had retrieved from Mount Kujenga took a place of honor in the ceremony, symbolizing the blessings of the ancestors and the strength of their bond. As the newlyweds embarked on their life together, they faced the challenge of merging their personal dreams with their responsibilities to the village. Nia and Kofi were determined to honor their commitment not only to each other, but also to their people, ensuring that Uwani would thrive under their leadership. Chief Ajani, having witnessed the power of their love and the blessing of the ancestors, slowly began to change. He saw in Nia and Kofi's union a chance for renewal, a way to guide the village into a new era of prosperity and unity. This change in perspective allowed Ajani to become more open-minded and compassionate, setting aside some of the rigid traditions that had once bound him. With Kofi by her side, Nia took on the role of a leader with grace and wisdom. She worked tirelessly to ensure that the voices of the villagers were heard, fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. Kofi, with his strength and bravery, supported her efforts, and together they became a symbol of unity and hope for Uwani. One of their first acts as leaders was to establish new traditions that honored both the old ways and the evolving needs of the village. They introduced a festival to celebrate the harvest, where villagers could give thanks for their blessings and enjoy the fruits of their labor. This festival, rooted in the values of gratitude and community, became a cherished event in Uwani. As the months passed, Nia and Kofi's love continued to grow, not only for each other, but also for their people. Their leadership brought prosperity to Uwani as the villagers worked together to build a stronger, more resilient community. They introduced new farming techniques, improved trade relations with neighboring villages, and ensured that everyone had access to education and healthcare. Despite their success, Nia and Kofi never forgot the trials they had faced. They often shared their story with the younger generations, teaching them the values of courage, perseverance, and the importance of following one's heart. Their story became a legend, passed down through the years, inspiring countless others to believe in the power of love and the blessings of the ancestors. One day, as Nia walked through the village, she came across a group of children playing near the old baobab tree where she and Kofi had shared so many secret moments. The sight brought a smile to her face, and she felt a deep sense of peace. She knew that their love had not only united them, but had also brought about a profound change in Uwani. That evening, Nia and Kofi sat together under the stars, much like they had in the early days of their courtship. The sky was clear, and the stars shone brightly, a reminder of the journey they had undertaken together. They held hands, their hearts full of gratitude and love. "Nia," Kofi said softly, "our love has transformed not just our lives, but the lives of everyone in Uwani. We have shown that true love can overcome any obstacle, and that the blessings of the ancestors are always with us." Nia squeezed his hand, her eyes shining with affection. "Yes, Kofi, and our journey is just beginning. Together we will continue to lead with love, wisdom, and courage, ensuring that our village remains a place of prosperity and harmony." As they sat together, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the baobab tree, and the sacred flower they had retrieved from Mount Kujenga glowed softly in the moonlight. It was a reminder of their journey, the trials they had overcome, and the love that had guided them through it all. In the years that followed, Nia and Kofi continued to lead Uwani with the same passion and dedication that had defined their early days. Their love story became a symbol of hope and inspiration, a testament to the power of true love and the blessings of the ancestors. And so, the village of Uwani flourished under their leadership, becoming a beacon of unity, prosperity, and love. Nia and Kofi's legacy lived on, not just in their children and grandchildren, but in the hearts of every villager who believed in the power of love to transform and heal. The story of Nia and Kofi, The lovers who defied tradition and followed their hearts would be told for generations to come, reminding everyone that true love, blessed by the ancestors, is the most powerful force of all.